Just start talking about.
Wait a minute. Start talking about what? You're supposed to ask me questions.
What were your initial thoughts about implementing this framework?
My initial thoughts about implementing this framework, I can honestly say I was a little hesitant because I was so used to what we had been doing previously, and I'm not one that is good with change. I was willing to take on the change, I just wasn't exactly sure how to implement it. I was a little uncomfortable.
Okay. As you were implementing it last year, how did you notice that you were changing, or were you changing? Has your opinion changed?
My opinion has definitely changed. I noticed that I know my students better. I mean, I thought I knew them before, but I truly do know what levels they are, what they know, what they don't know. And it seems that I have, well, they almost have more control over their own learning, and they're guiding their own way of learning. So it seems like we're more interested and we're more engaged. So I would say, like, as of right now, I'm very happy with what we have been implementing in the classroom.
Nice. That's really nice to hear, actually. So what do you think are, I gotta make it steadier there. Talk about the student growth you have seen.
The student growth I have seen, I could just say, even as far as like our TBTs that we've been doing, they're knowing, like, normally at this time at the beginning of the school year, we're still focusing on letters and letter sounds, and we already have students that are reading words and finding words in books, and that's just from the shared reading part and implementing like the high frequency words in our poems. And so I'm starting to see more of earlier on our students are grasping things that normally within the previous years that they have, it was later in the year that they knew these things.
That's a good clip. I'll probably put that one. That was, yeah. What evidence do you have? What evidence do you have that shows your students' growth? I don't know if I like that one too much. What have been some of the big challenges in implementing this framework? Would you say from yourself or even the whole staff, maybe even some challenges?
The biggest challenge I think about implementing the framework is, well, getting used to the change and adapting your schedule. Attendance, we have a big deal of attendance here, so like everything kind of builds on each other in the framework. So when we have students that miss a lot, I feel like they kind of have to come in, hit the ground running in order to catch up to where we are. But when you do the small groups, I mean, they end up working on their own levels. So I mean, we're still able to catch them up. But I feel like the center part, the managed independent learning, they kind of get a little bit behind. As far as staff is concerned, I would say here it seems like most of us are on board for the change. So we're all using the same vocabulary. We're all able to talk about what's happening in the classroom, and it's happening across the board in elementary. So it's a good conversation piece for all of us.
Nice. That's a good piece too. What successes have you seen? You kind of talked about that, but if you want to add something else.
The successes I have seen in my classroom, I'll just say this year that they are excited to read and to write. And that's something that's shocking to me because students are normally a little bit more hesitant, especially in the kindergarten level. And they want more. They're not just okay with what they're doing right now. Like, they want more. They want to know more sentences, how to start building sentences. And we're in October.